Hi guys, this is Kyne, welcome back to my channel, and today we are gonna get a little bit dirty. After I did my Marina and the Diamonds hair and makeup tutorial, a bunch of you guys requested that I do a tutorial on Xtina Aguilera's hair from her dirty phase. I was a little bit reluctant at first, but after I looked at some more pictures of it, I realized it was not that complicated as I thought it was. Plus, I also saw the opportunity to show you guys some new hair techniques that I haven't shown you yet, so let's just get started. So for this tutorial, I'm gonna be kind of like splicing two wigs together. The first thing you're gonna wanna have is your base wig, which I just have here a long, straight, blonde lace front. If your hair is not straight, you can straighten it out with some steam, and I have a tutorial on that. And then the second wig that I have here is this cheap ass, ratchet ass, bootleg ass black wig that I got for $10 on Amazon. It is not a lace front, it keeps shedding at every moment. The reason you want to cheap out on this one is because we're going to be actually cutting it up and then sewing the wefts into the blonde wig. So if you splurge on a lace front, then it's kind of just pointless unless that's what you already have and you want to cut that up. When it comes to attaching extra hair into a wig, your initial thought might be to use like clip-in extensions, which can be an option if you're working on your own head of hair, but since we are working on wigs, we have the advantage of being able to sew hair in. I know some cosplayers use like glue and they glue the hair into the wig, but I don't really like that. I kind of feel like it adds some more bulk, and also it's harder to take out, like it would just rip your hair out, whereas if you sew it in, it does take some more patience, but you can easily take it out when you want to go back to just the blonde wig. I'm gonna get into all of that complicated stuff later on, but the first thing that we're gonna want to do is cut up the black wig into the individual wefts. If you've ever owned a wig and really examined it, you notice that the hair is not just attached to it randomly, it's attached in little lines like this. I want to cut it so I can still preserve this sewn edge right here, because this edge is going to be the one that I'm going to sew into the blonde wig. So basically I'm just going to cut all around that so I can preserve the weft. So here we have our first weft of hair that we cut out of the black wig. As you can see, it's not loose. Again, it's kind of just like an extension except without the clips at the top, because we still just have that sewn edge up there, which we are going to use to sew into the blonde wig. I'm going to go ahead and do this to the entire black wig. You can cut more or less depending on how full you want the addition of hair to be. I'm just going to cut up the entire black wig so we can see what we have to work with. Alright, so now I have just a ton of wefts. I'm gonna go ahead and brush these all out so they're not all tangled with each other and they're just nicely organized. And then I'm gonna put these aside and show you how to sew them into the blonde wig. So as you can see here, we have a weft of the blonde hair, and I'm gonna line up some of the black hair right up to it. And then I'm just gonna sew the two wefts together. When you get to the end of the weft, give it another extra couple loops and then tie it off, just like you normally would if you were just hand stitching anything else. If you already have experience stitching with needle and thread, this will be a little bit easier for you, but if not, just make sure you finish off the stitch with a little knot so that it doesn't unravel. As you can see, it looks like the black hair is a little bit longer than our blonde hair, so we can just fix that later, but for now, I'm gonna add the rest of the hair into this wig. As you can see, this weft of hair is pretty long. I'm just gonna fold it instead of having to cut it in half and adding it twice. This way I only have to sew one line, except I get twice the fullness. Alright guys, so here is the wig after adding all of that black hair into it. I ended up using a lot less than I had planned. I kind of feel like this look requires mostly blonde with just little hints of black here and there, so you don't have to use the entire wig if you don't want to. You can just use a few wefts. If you have the patience, I really think the sewing method is really the most seamless, as opposed to like putting in clip-in extensions, because as you can see, I can flip it around and you don't see any clips or anything because it's sewn in just like every other weft in the wig. Now what's left to do is of course add in the braids and everything that Xtina does, but before that I think I'm gonna run over this with a steamer to get out some of the frizz, and I'm also gonna have to give it a little bit of a haircut because some of this black is too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So the only reason you saw me use that steamer there was because some of the ends of the blonde hair were getting a little bit frizzy, I guess from all the brushing and sectioning, so I just wanted to kind of sleek it back down. But now what I'm gonna do next is, like I said, I have to cut off some of this black hair that's just hanging there. Alright, so now all the hard work really is done, and all that's left to do is do the finishing style, which is just a couple of braids. So I think I'm gonna do maybe 2 on each side and then like 2 or 3 in the back. For the ones in the front, you want to make sure you're grabbing a little bit of black hair. Alright, then I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna try to do any fancy type of braid. God knows I don't know how to do those. I'm just gonna weave it in and out, over and under, until I reach the end. And then to finish it off at the end, I'm just gonna add a little tiny elastic that looks like this. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and add some more braids all over the hair. I think maybe in total I'm gonna do like 4 to 6, somewhere around there, and I'll be back later. Alright guys, so here is the wig after adding all of those braids, and I really like the way it looks. I think another touch that I might add to it is that I see in the video that Xtina's hair is a little bit more like kind of wet and almost oily, so obviously if I just put water on it, it'll dry off, so you can put a little bit of like hair oil. Obviously it won't have the same effect on synthetic hair as it will on human hair, but I do kind of just want to slick it down a little bit and make it look a little bit oily and kind of grungy. The great thing about this hairstyle is that you can be super messy with it, and if it looks bad, you can just write it off as being dirty. I'm gonna go change now into a little Christina Aguilera inspired costume. I'm gonna do my makeup, a little bit of a smoky eye and a nude lip, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the finished look, you guys. You can choose to wear this wig like nice and sleek and straight, or I kind of prefer to, again, like I said, wet it. This is just water in a bottle. You could use something like an oil or like a leave-in conditioner. Anything that'll kind of get the hair a little bit damp so it looks more almost like oily. I feel like it just adds that element of kind of sweat and dirt and grunge that the Dirrty era is characterized by. I did not have the red bra that Xtina wears in the video, so I just went into my mom's closet and like took a random bra. I'm sure I'm being the son she's always wanted. Anyway, I hope you guys like this look as much as I did. A ton of you guys requested it. And like I said, I was really reluctant at first, but I am feeling so sexy now. I don't usually do looks that like feature my body, but I'm really feeling it now. Let me know what other tutorials you want to see me do on my channel, but before I go, I wanted to give a big shout out to all the people who came up to me and said hi while I was at Gen Beauty down in San Francisco. I had so much fun meeting all of you. I think I want to do a hair and makeup tutorial on this black and white look that you see here, since a ton of you guys asked how I did it, and I really was a big fan of that look. Speaking of which, now is probably a good time to let you guys know I am going to be at RuPaul's DragCon in New York next month. I'm so excited, so if you're there, come say hi. I'm going to be at the Amara hairwear booth talking about wigs and taking pictures. I'm always posting updates like this on my Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter, so go follow those if you're not already. But until next time, I hope you guys liked watching this video. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!